Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Demon Tech Digital. I'm Neo. I want to show you guys how to make a two-color breathing effect without without the lights having to go all the way to black in between colors. Typically, a breathing function, as most of us have seen plenty of times. I have breathing on the three fans on my PC actually, because it's really the only halfway decent effect that matches the rest of it, because that's on Asus uh, Armory Crate, and then everything else is through the ARGB controller. But I have a custom setup on my base station that uses a wave effect to achieve the same results but without the blackening. So it won't go from whatever color, like say orange in this case, to black, then from black to blue, then back to black, then to orange, so on and so forth. That's how, even in Synapse 3, that's how their breathing function works. The way I do it, you won't have to do that. And the nice thing about it is if you use only one color, it won't fade all the way to black, because I really like there to be at least some color. And I will show you what I mean by that a little bit later, possibly. But essentially, all my F keys have a fade effect attached to them. That's how I figured out how to do it. It's a breathing effect that goes for, like, say in this instance, it's different. I've got different assignment colors to each ones because the F keys are all assigned to the various element colors. Like, for instance, it's got Torg yellow, it's got orange for incendiary, it's got that almost cyan blue for shock, and then purple for slag, and green for corrosion. So, but we'll take, say, the purple, for instance, which is slag in this case. It goes from a nice, bright, vivid purple down to a dim version of that same color within that same color family and hue, and then back up to that bright, vibrant purple again. It never reaches black. I didn't want it to. I want to still be able to see the keys, because many a nights, that's the problem. Like when you're typing, or at night, if you can't see, like I can't see, you're just looking at the keyboard waiting for the colors to come back on so you can type again. It's ridiculous. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this and see what we can do. I might actually change a few things as well to the profile that I currently have for the base station. We will be using the base station as an example because it is a better example than, say, one key on a keyboard, especially since my keyboard is on Synapse 2 instead of 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it, and we'll go ahead and I'll get my stuff set up and we'll take a look at it. All right, I will be right back. All right, now that we're in the design portion of this in the Razer Synapse 3 software, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So I've got two different effects. Now, in reality, I only need one. But these are set to orange. I don't remember why I did that. I think it was left over from something else that I was messing with. But we don't actually need that static. What we're looking for is this wave. Now, if I select this wave, all the light zones here, you'll see exactly what I did. So I used a 7 color stop effect for essentially 4 colors, because you've got royal blue, then a dark blue, then a brown, then a bright orange. Okay. And on both sides. And that's what achieves that dimming effect where it doesn't go completely black. If you notice, my base station in the bottom right of your screen does not actually ever hit black. It goes from one color to the next, but it does so a lot more efficiently. There's no blackening whatsoever, because typically what happens is if I set up my breathing, we'll just put in a breathing effect here. Okay, I will disable the base station layer, select breathing, select all the light zones. I'll choose blue and then choose orange. And we get some speed, and that's about it. That's the only real adjustments that we have. See? And it's really not that nice of an effect. Okay? So we'll go ahead and delete that. I mean, it's okay for an average situation where maybe you're just not worried about it and that's all you want is that. We're not doing that. We're a little bit different here. We want things custom. Custom's key. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a wave. And we're not going to use the static at all. Won't need to. Select all the light zones. And I will grab a regular singular stop color. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to drop one in the center and then drop another one and then drag it all the way to the right. That way there we have 3 stops. Center one's going to be blue. Now you can do this in reverse if you want to. And then the 2 colors on the ends are going to be orange. Okay. And we're going to leave it like this for a while. We're going to let that cycle through just for a minute, just to get everything set up first. Actually, no, we won't. We'll dial this in. So the lowest you can actually set for width is 10. So we'll just remove one of the zeros. Okay. We will set it from 15 down to 1 because you don't want it super fast. Because most of your speed adjustments are actually going to be done with color rather than the actual speed itself. And set the angle to 0. That's just going to keep whatever little tiny bit of wave there is left is going to be centralized right in this area. So if you're facing your base station's front, you won't ever see that. Like for me, it's staring right at me, so I'll never see that. Okay, so now we'll click on the colors, the patterns again. Starting from the left to right, at the leftmost, I'm going to create a stop. And that one is going to be set to blue. But we're going to have a darker blue. So we're going to set it right about here. Looks good. And then we're going to take it and we're going to drag it over to about right here. One thing I would really like to see in Synapse 3 is percentages up here. Some percentage ticks of what percentage we're at. That way there we can adjust and fine tune as we see fit. So now I'm going to go ahead and make another stop. And I'm going to make it dark brown about right there. Okay. And that way there, it's going to give a nice even distribution. Well, actually, maybe a little bit lighter. Yeah, about right there. Yeah, it looks a bit okay, I think. Maybe knock it back down. There. We'll just leave it right there. Okay. Before we do anything else, I am going to click on this central stop, create another one. Then I'm going to click on dark blue. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, for accuracy's sake, I'm going to copy with Control C the color value. That's the hexadecimal color value. Control V to paste it in. Actually, I boo-booed. Have to do that with the brown first. So, wouldn't be a video if I didn't screw it up at least once, right? So, there we go. Now we're cooking with bacon grease. And the reason why we're doing that is because the next stop is going to fall to the left of that anyway. So, and that's going to be the dark blue. So, might as well save ourselves a little bit of effort there. Click on that blue and change it. And there we go. Now we're dialed in with colors, right? So now we just have to fine tune, because now is when we decide whether or not, or how fast we want the fade to occur. That's what I was talking about with doing it with color rather than speed. So I am going to pull this over just a bit and do that with this one too. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want the orange parts and the blue parts to be the same size. Let's see, does that looks about right actually. But what do we got here? Oh, I see what happened. I have to adjust this orange piece here. But yeah, I really like to see percentages. Maybe a 0% here, and then you've got minus 50 and then plus 50. That way there, you always know where your stops land. Because, I mean, it would be 100%, right? So 0 in the center, minus 50 to the left, plus 50 to the right. That way there, like, you could see, and maybe even a value changer, kind of like you got your hexadecimal here where you can copy all these things. Maybe underneath or above it up here, maybe make this whole thing a little bit bigger. And up here, you would have a spot where a text field where you could actually type in the percentage values, so you could get those color stops, pinpoint precise, so that everything lines up the way it should, and you can really get into, because I've seen some crazy designs where that actually would matter and it would help a lot. So actually that's about where we're going. Now I'm gonna go ahead and save it, and we'll take a look and see what it looks like on the actual device. That is not bad. That's about what I wanted. Now, if I wanted to, I could change the speed of that. And how to do that is just drag the darker colors over. So I could drag it more in the center. About like that, maybe. Yeah, that looks about right. Now we'll save it and see what it looks like on the device. Yeah, see, that really See how it flows? It's got that nice dark blue to it before it goes into the orange, and but it's got the brown. It matches like it's supposed to. Anyways, that's about what I've got. So I'll go ahead and go back to my main camera here, and we'll talk about this a little bit there. I will be right back. All right, so now that I've got the camera set back up, it's probably not perfect, but it is what it is. Interesting point of fact, I used my Razer Chroma addressable ARGB box as a stand for the camera. Fanboy. Matter of fact, one of the things I wanted to mention before closing this video out is I will be getting the Razer Huntsman Mini 60% keyboard, hopefully in a couple of days. Ordered it tonight. My wife ordered it for me tonight, and so yeah, it should be here in a couple of days, which expect at least at a minimum an overview. I don't really feel comfortable doing a 100% review until I've actually used the device for a while. I like to give it about a week, sometimes a month, depending on what it is, of good solid use. Like my halter footrest that I'll be doing a review on. I've had this for 2 or 3 weeks, and so I'm a little bit more comfortable doing an actual review on it. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it'll bring you some joy, and if anything, you get to laugh at an idiot, ruining his different components with weird colors and lights and things. But yeah, that's it for me. Y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.